Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. November 1st, 2013. My, oh my, how time does fly. We're going to go back to the phones right now. 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933 to speak to me directly. And if you're listening to the podcast, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Let us show you how to become a member of Youngevity Nation. 855-347-3696. Hey, look who's back in the house. Our old friend Gottfried from Germany. Hey, Gottfried. Achtung, baby. You are alive.
Hey, Doc, thank you very much. I think impatience and discouragement in setting on me, but I know I've reached the right place, yeah? How can the full croisé perform in damaged knees, and can that perform on cataract that have been operated upon?
What was that last word? Was it cartilage?
No, cataract.
Cataract.
Surgery cataract, yeah.
Cataract, yeah. All right, so what... the fucoidin, which is the active ingredient in both the Z radical and the fucoid Z, has been researched to the hilt. There are over 1,000 published articles in scientific papers about the positive effects of fucoidin. Over 1,000 published articles. Fucoidin does so many things. It would be hard to talk about even in a full 2-hour show about all of the benefits of fucoidin. Two of the most noteworthy things that fucoidin does, which has been proven with published research, two of the things that it does is it stimulates stem cell activity. So, stem cells in the body are used by the body to generate new tissue if there's the need for new tissue. Now, stem cells is an area that's ripe for research right now. Everybody and their brother seems to be focusing on embryonic stem cells. I don't know why. But the fact of the matter is that if there are stem cells present in the body, and if they are in the presence of fucoidin, they're stimulated to produce more tissue more aggressively. It's kind of like stepping on the gas or turning up the acceleration on, the machine that's making stuff, right? So it's going to spit out more copies faster. That's one of the things that fucoidin does, but there have to be stem cells present in order for that to happen. Now, if somebody has a damaged shoulder or a damaged knee or a damaged ligament or a damaged tendon or a damaged eye or whatever, regardless of what the cause is, we don't know whether there are still stem cells present in that part of the body. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. We don't know.
Yeah.
So the fucoidin is given to increase the chances of the generation of new tissue, and that's not a bad bet to place. Also, fucoidin, one of its most noteworthy things is it increases the destruction of cancer cells in the body. It increases the destruction of cancer cells in the body by a process called apoptosis, which is fancy schmancy doctor talk for cell death, right? Pre-programmed cancer cell death. Now, it may interest you to know, and everybody else in the listening audience, that your body is producing cancer cells every day. Your body produces cancer cells all of the time as a result of exposure to crap in the air, crap in the food, crap in the water. But the body has a fire department. The body has a police department. The body has means through which it cleans up its own house. So by taking fucoidin into the body and selenium and antioxidants, we go a long way towards preventing an overabundance of cancer cells, which, if that happens, can become a runaway train And it's a million times easier to prevent cancer than it is to fix it, at least with the current state of research and methodology that's being brought to cancer now. So just for prevention's sake, I take 8 Fucoid-Z a day. I take 8 Fucoid-Z a day just for prevention. I think it's a good idea to do, and if anybody is trying to recover from scar tissue or regenerate anything anywhere in the body, it's not a bad idea to take Fucoid. The only problem is nobody knows what the proper dosage is, because nobody's ever dialed that in. So maybe, now what we've seen with standard doses, I've seen cartilage be regenerated with standard dose, which is 1 bottle per 100 pounds of body weight per month. I've seen it happen. But, different people have different body weights and different metabolic rates and different degrees of tissue damage, and they've had different diets for different lengths of time. So it's really impossible to dial in anything that's conclusive here. So this is, the practice of medicine. This is where it comes in. We just have to start somewhere, see what happens, and then adjust appropriately as we move downstream. But that's kind of the long and the short of why we do Fucoid and the possible benefits of it.
Okay. So second question is, how do you dial in the ultimate daily tablet will block arteries and when you have diabetic?
Okay, so when we use the Ultimate Daily capsules, what we're attempting to do with the Ultimate Daily capsules is support and promote healthy circulation in the body. Support and promote healthy circulation in the body. So again, there's no hard and fast rule, but we have to get someplace inside the ballpark. So we start with 1 bottle, which is 180 capsules, per 200 pounds of body weight per month. So if you're between, 100 and 200 pounds, you'd be taking 180 capsules a month. That's 6 a day. If you're between 200 and 250 pounds, I would take 9 a day. If you're between 250 and 300 pounds, I would take 12 a day. And if you're between 50 and 100 pounds, I would only do 3 a day. So basically the rule of thumb is 3 capsules of the Ultimate Daily per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 3 capsules of the Ultimate Daily per 100 pounds of body weight per month, more or less. And more is always better here because, when someone shows up and with coronary artery disease or atherosclerosis or whatever, I mean, that's a big deal, and we really need to be aggressive in our supporting and promoting the structure and function of the circulatory system, so it never hurts to do more. The only problem with the Ultimate Daily capsules is a pragmatic one. It's a hard-pressed tablet, and unlike Centrum Silver or some other cheapo vitamin, it doesn't have a shiny shellac coating on it. And the reason that the vitamin companies put the shiny shellac coating on it is because it makes it easy to swallow. It just slips right down. But the shiny shellac coating makes it almost impossible to digest. It's almost impossible for your digestive tract to crack through that shiny shellac coating, especially if you've been on a salt-restricted diet. So Longevity, being ahead of the curve, makes their hard-pressed tablets without the shiny shellac. But that makes it harder to swallow because it sticks to your tongue, it sticks to your throat, and it's harder to get down. So what I recommend people do is stick it in the freezer, put the bottle in the freezer, and when it's time to take your dose, just take the capsules out of the bottle and swallow them immediately so they go down the hatch while they're still frozen. Or you could get a pill cutter, or you can grind them up in a mortar and pestle and mix it with some applesauce or some full-fat yogurt or whatever. But the rule of thumb there is 3 caps per 100 pounds per day, and, more is always better.
Good. Yep.
Makes sense. And because someone's diabetic is irrelevant, right? Whether somebody, it's irrelevant. That has no bearing on it. The only thing that would have any bearing on it, on any of these dosages, is if someone is diagnosed with full-blown celiac disease, right? They've been to the doctor, and the doctor definitively diagnosed them with celiac disease, irritable bowel, ulcerative colitis, inflammatory bowel disease, or something, Crohn's disease. If there is an active disease process happening in the digestive system, then it's harder for anybody to absorb any of the nutrients at all, because the tissue that absorbs nutrients is inflamed. So, that would be the only problem. But there's no difference in the recommendation for circulation support if someone's diabetic or not. Quite frankly, the thing that inhibits circulation with diabetics is not atherosclerosis buildup, it's oxidative damage from insulin. It's insulin damage.
That's right.
Insulin actually damages the tissues. That's the problem. It's a separate problem. So what I would be more inclined to do if someone had circulatory problems because of a diabetic issue, I would be heavy-handed with antioxidants and selenium. I'd be heavy-handed with antioxidants and selenium. And, there's more than one way to skin the antioxidant cat, right? You don't have to just lean on supplements. That's the easiest way to do it. But green tea, red wine, dark-skinned red fruit, or dark-skinned fruits, curry powder, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, walnuts, interesting, walnuts, right? Who would have thunk it? All of these foods are high in antioxidants. So just by making simple switches in what you eat can make a world of difference moving downstream. You got to maintain the discipline, Gottfried. Remember, it's like a roller coaster. You're going to hit a bump. You're going to. That's just life. What we don't want to see is plateauing out, right? We just want to see 1 or 2, maybe 3 days of difficulty, and then it fades away, and then the improvement comes back, and that's just the way that it goes. So don't be discouraged. Maintain the discipline, and let's get her done. It's always a pleasure, Godfrey, talking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to California and talk to Gene when we come back. Stick around. I am Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is, Fire Your Routine. 866-582-9933. That's the number you want to call right now. Lines are open, 866-582-9933. Let's go to California and see what Gene's up to. Hey, Gene, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Oh, I'd like to thank your wonderful call screeners, Charles and Tom. I've dropped out 5 times, and they've gotten me back on. My name is Jean. I'm 83 years old. I weigh 122 pounds, and I have 2 problems. One is irritating, the other serious. The most irritating thing is I have post-herpetic neuralgia, and I'm on gabapentin, which leaves me with blurred vision, drowsiness, and an occasional episode of narcolepsy.
Yeah, isn't that great?
My second one is I've got hip and knee arthritis, and I'm in a wheelchair. That's the most serious.
Okay, so do you have any fake joints yet?
Not yet, and I don't intend to.
All right, good girl. Well, we get people out of wheelchairs all the time. You wouldn't believe.
Great. Well, I'm counting on it.
Well, you should. I'll bet money on it. You wouldn't believe the things I've seen people recover from when it comes to joint injuries. You wouldn't believe it. So you're in good hands here, because we have science-based, clinically verified therapeutics that support and promote the structure and function of your bones and joints.
Very good.
And they're awesome.
Did I drop out again?
No, you're still here. Can you hear me?
Right. Have I dropped out?
No, I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, now I can hear you.
All right, very good, Gene. So I have a question about the post-herpetic neuralgia, if I may.
Yes.
What does it feel like specifically? What is it hot? Is it sharp? Is it dull? I mean, does it feel like ants? Does it feel like what's it feel?
Okay, it's on from my upper lip, half of my right side of my face up to the center of my scalp. Occasionally I'll feel, this is rarely, but I'll have a very sharp jab in my right eye, and the rest of it's just sort of an annoying, itchy, not really itchy, but I can feel the nerves sort of moving around the eye and the cheek, my right cheek and forehead.
And what makes it better and what makes it worse, besides drugs?
Well, actually, that's why I take the gabapentin, but I'm allowed 900 milligrams a day, and I take about 300 milligrams a day.
All right. Have you experienced? Anything like a cold application makes it feel better, or a hot application makes it feel better, or lying down, or sitting, or standing? Anything make a difference?
I think, well, a cold cloth. I haven't deliberately put it on for that purpose, but I noticed that it does make it feel better. A cold cloth.
All right, very, very good. Does a hot cloth make it feel worse? I
haven't tried that.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, and is there a time of the day when this is more of a problem than not, or is that irrelevant?
Well, it seems to be in the evening as the day wears on, and that is the reason I take the gabapentin, because it is annoying enough that I can't sleep well unless I resolve the issue.
Yeah, so after the sun goes down, it's worse?
It seems to be. I don't know if it's because I've been up longer or been tired, or if it's just diurnal.
Yeah. Okay, very, very good. And let me see if I have any more questions here. Can you characterize the quality of the pain? Is it burning, itching, tingling, sharp, dull, hot, cold?
It seems to be more tingling than anything. And occasionally that sharp jab in my right eye.
Okay. Are you familiar with a type of medicine called homeopathy?
Yes. Well, I haven't. Oh, occasionally I've used it, yes, in the past. Rarely.
All right. Well, there's a homeopathic medicine that you may find of great benefit here. First I'll say it, and then I'll spell it, okay?
Good.
Right, it's called Calmia latifolia. That's K-A-L, like Larry, M-I-A.
K-A-L?
Yep. M like Mary, I-A. Calmia. We're up against a hard break, Gene. Stick around. I'll finish it up when we come back.
Okay, latifolia.
Stick around, folks. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, talking to Gene in California. Gene, are you still there? Come in, Gene. Are you still with me?
Word.
All right. The second word is... All right, good. The second word is latifolia, L like Larry, A, T like Thomas, I, F like Frank, O, L like Larry, I, A.
Great. Latifolia.
Call me a latifolia. Try to get it in the 200C or the
200C.
Or 200CK strength. They're the same.
Okay, they are the same.
Yep. Take 2 pellets 3 times a day for 3 days, orally.
Pellets. Do I swallow them?
You pop them on your tongue and suck on them like a Tic Tac.
Okay, all right. Just kind of let them dissolve.
Yep.
Okay.
Suck on them like a breath mint. 2 pellets 3 times a day for 3 days, okay?
For 3 days.
Yep. And see if that doesn't help to eliminate the pain that you're feeling.
If it doesn't work, do I go the 4th day or just...
No, if it works, then, well, if you notice, if the pain goes away completely, then you stop taking it.
Okay.
If there's a noticeable reduction, but the pain persists, then you can continue to take it until the pain's gone completely.
Okay, very good.
All right. Now, for your knee, you told me you're 122 pounds?
Yeah, or 125.
All right,
You know,
so
in that range, mid 120.
all right, so here's what I would recommend: one healthy bone and joint pack.
Okay.
One healthy bone and joint pack. One bottle of Beyond Osteo FX.
Okay, Beyond Osteo.
Yep.
Is this what
like.
you recommend with orange juice?
That's the one. You betcha.
Okay, does it have to be orange? I don't object to it, but is the acidity critical?
No, you can do it with a little bit of water, no problem.
Okay, fine. One
Okay.
bottle of the
Beyond Osteo FX, yeah. One bottle of glucogel, that's G like Godfrey, L like Larry, U, C like Charlie, O, gel,
Very
G-E-L. One bottle of glucogel at the 240 count.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And 3 bottles of selenium. 3 bottles of selenium.
Okay, bottles of selenium.
Yeah.
Okay.
And take that stuff.
That is per month.
Yeah, per month. Now, you should see noticeable, measurable improvement within the first 4 weeks.
Okay.
No, and then once you get improvement, we just stay on that train until it takes us as far as it's going to go. But you also need to stop eating the 10 bad foods. Are you aware of those?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you for,
all right.
I have been very ho-hum about gluten, but you have made a believer of me.
Well, that's mine.
When people mention gluten, I just, I figured it was something that was good that helped when you were making bread.
Yeah.
But no, I'm a true believer now.
Excellent, Jean. Good girl. Go get them. Give me a call back in a couple of weeks with a report, why don't you? I will look forward to it. Thanks so much for your patience.
Okay,
Thanks.
very good. And thank you very much. And if you are in the vicinity of the producers or call screeners, I just love them. They've been wonderful.
Thanks a lot, Gene.
Okay.
They're going to like to hear that, too. We're all in this together. You know, folks, yesterday I spoke about the Food and Drug Administration and because of the monopolization of the medical market, what's happening with antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and that this is becoming the new big deal. This is becoming the new epidemic. This is becoming the new plague, worse than influenza. I mean, it's ironic, don't you think, that every flu season the international community is up in arms about, how everybody has to get vaccinated. And quite frankly, the amount of people that are dying from sports-related injuries eclipses the amount of people that die from influenza. But there's no talk about that. The amount of people that die from overdoses of prescription medication pain relievers given to people by MDs eclipses the number of people that die from influenza. The number of people that are negatively affected and that die from antibiotic-resistant diseases, resistant germs, eclipses what happens with influenza. But we turn a blind eye towards it all because the entire shebang is run by a Machiavellian for-profit monopoly. There's nothing wrong with making money. That's not my point. My point is when you have a monopoly ensconced in any aspect of society, it's only a matter of time before corruption sets in. And when the medical industry is corrupt and monopolistic, we're all screwed. And we are. It is big and it is bad. I want you to do a Google search for someone named Royal, R-O-Y-A-L, Rife, R-I-F-E. Royal Rife was an inventor in the 30s. Royal Rife invented a machine which killed viruses and germs and tumors in the human body, and it killed them through the use of sound. Completely non-toxic, 0 side effects, unbelievably inexpensive. The Food and Drug Administration confiscated all of his stuff and God only knows where it is. It's in the Indiana Jones warehouse somewhere. In the 30s, the FDA raided him, confiscated all of his stuff, and I don't know if they threw him in jail or what they did, but I know that they took all of his stuff. Now, why would they do that? Well, let's back this up a little bit. You've all seen the commercial, the Memorex commercial. Remember the Memorex commercial where they're playing a recording of an opera singer's voice and it breaks a wine glass? Remember that? That was a pretty cool commercial, wasn't it? Well, and we've all heard the biblical story, of course, of the walls of Jericho came tumbling down because the army was marching around it blowing on their trumpets, right? And the Defense Department just unveiled last year a device to control crowds through the transmission of very highly focused sound waves, right? Sound. It's a very intense technology. It's a very cutting-edge technology. Well, as it turns out, when you match the resonant frequency of a microbe, it will shatter in two or into a million pieces, whatever the case may be, the same way that a wine glass will shatter when you hit the right resonant frequency. And remember that bridge over the Tacoma Narrows? Every kid in high school has seen a picture of that. Remember, it was called Galloping Gertie. There were high winds blowing across the bridge, and the high winds set up a vibration in the steel support structures. The vibration set up a sound frequency, and the sound frequency made the bridge collapse. Sound is an awesome force of nature. Very it's not researched as much as it needs to be because the effects of sound border on the metaphysical, quite frankly. But Royal Rife, in the 30s, by hook or by crook, God only knows how he came up with this idea. Probably divine intervention. That's how most creative geniuses work, right? They have flashes of intuitive insight. Came up with a machine that would generate a frequency, and you'd hold an electrode, or you'd hold a transmitting unit in each of your hands. He would turn the machine up to a certain frequency. That sound vibration would be transmitted through your body, through the blood vessels in your body, the circulatory vessels in your body. Remember, your body's 97% water. Sound travels very well in water. And when it hit a microbe that was of the same resonant frequency, the microbe would explode. Killed them. Boom, bada bing, bada, no matter where they were in the body. Didn't matter if they were hiding out in the liver. Didn't matter if they were under the crevice of the kidney. Didn't matter. The sound would find them and obliterate them. Inexpensive, safe, 100% side effect free disease elimination, microbial infectious disease elimination. Now, why on earth would the Food and Drug Administration want to confiscate that equipment? Because it would directly interfere with the profits of drug companies, right? It's the same reason that they don't want any alternative energy source to be found. There's somebody probably invented an automobile engine that can run on water, and the patents were bought up, or the person was shot, or the information was confiscated, and then nobody knows about it now, or we don't offer it to the world, because that would directly interfere with the profits of the oil industry, which are huge, while the profits of the pharmaceutical industry are huger. Do a little Google search. You want to have your eyes opened. Royal Rife. Now, the thing about Rife's experiments were, because he was a savant, because he was the person that developed this technology, and because the feds confiscated it, there is confusion and disarray in the people that followed Royal Rife in the ability of them to duplicate his work. Yeah, some people think they know what the original Rife frequencies were, and some people don't. In any regard, the original Rife frequency generator that he used, and that a handful of physicians around the country used, are no longer in existence, and nobody is 100% sure about what exactly the frequencies were. So when people have tried to reproduce his stuff, it doesn't work, or they themselves have been hammered by the Food and Drug Administration. And let us make no bones about it. The Food and Drug Administration does not exist to support and promote the health of humanity. The Food and Drug Administration exists to prop up the pharmaceutical industry. That is the sole purpose of the Food and Drug Administration. They are not there to protect the consumer. They are there to protect the drug companies. And we don't even elect the members. They are appointed. They are appointed. Years ago, Jonathan Wright, an MD in Tacoma, Washington, one of steadfast advocates of naturopathic medicine, one of the few MDs that I respect, his office was raided in Tacoma by Food and Drug Administration agents in flak jackets with machine guns. Raided because he was using some herbal medicine that wasn't approved by the FDA, and they thought he was a drug dealer. So they treated him the same way that they treat someone in the Mexican cartels. It's one of the reasons Jonathan Wright rose to such fame was because he was actually raided at gunpoint by the jackbooted members of the Food and Drug Administration. Ladies and gentlemen, the books have been cooked. The marketplace has been monopolized. We are over the falls, wrecked, on a raft, floating aimlessly about in the cesspool of Machiavellian, medieval, old-fashioned, MD-directed medical therapeutics, and they're killing us. They're bankrupting us. They're hurting us, disallowing us from reproducing. It's a big, bad voodoo daddy, and we have a way out. Longevity. Join Longevity. Join my online subscription service. Become a Dr. Glidden Insider. Get your health back through the agency of Longevity. It'll be the best investment in your health you could possibly make. Finishing it up with Bill in Mississippi when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with the Longevity Nation. You know what kind of a nation it is? It's a nation where we all have each other's backs. Bill from Mississippi called in with a history of Royal Rife. Hey, Bill, very timely. Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. G. We're looking forward to you coming back to Jackson in, I think, maybe a few weeks. Anyway,
all right, I'm looking forward to it too, brother. So what can you tell me about Royal Rife?
Well, I first heard information about this about 13 years ago when I had Jeff Rentz, the old show, on my station, and also Dr. Russell Blaylock, who lives up here in Madison, was also into that, and that's when I first heard about the Royal Rife thing. And doing further research, of course, this is documented with old papers in Southern California. And what it looks like he had done was, of course, you've, I'm sure, read up on this too, is the very powerful optical microscope that Dr. Rife and his engineer had developed at that time in the early part of the 20th century. He could actually look down to the surface of, let's say, a tumor once it was opened up, and he could find the resonant frequency of the cells that he was trying to go after by the use of that optical microscope, and he could actually tell what frequency was necessary. He could tune it to the organism, so to speak. And he had about, I think it was about an 80%. I don't know what he used the word cure. Let's just get by that anyway. Ratio of the patients that were terminally ill, and the society and medical society in Southern California got onto this, and the local doctors were ecstatic. I mean, they had a banquet for him. They were all ready to back him. And until the AMA and the National Cancer Society got a hold of the information, and that's when they first went after him. And then they got the FDA to go in there, and they got him for practicing medicine without a license, and they were just getting ready to come after him, and he got advanced information. He bailed and went to South America, where he died of alcoholism and drug overdoses in his desperation and depression. And I think it was about the 1950s or 60s when he actually died. His engineer stayed here and fought it out in the U.S. and was actually in prison for about 3 years. So that's what I know about it.
Unbelievable. Isn't it unbelievable what happens? And, you know, the American public remains mute, and nobody does anything. nobody does anything. The American public remains mute. I mean, what's it going to take, Bill? I mean, how much more nonsense like this is it going to take before just the average person on the street gets a clue, takes their head out of the sand and says, you know what, this far and no further? We're not going to support violent movements, but we're going to just say no. We're just going to stop buying medical insurance. We're going to stop going to the MDs. We're going to stop taking the drugs. We're going to protest with our pocketbooks. That's what it's going to take. And I don't know when or where the breaking point will be, but I've got a sense that we're going to escalate the time frame. I have a sense that we're going to escalate the time frame because the truth will out, man. And, you know, there's only so many times you can kick somebody when they're down before they stand up and start fighting back. And this is one of the reasons that I'm such a fan of longevity, because if I have a good year in private practice, I can treat 300 people. If I have a good year with longevity, I can help 30,000 people. I can help, it's limitless how many people I can help. The sky's the limit. And this is the wisdom of Dr. Wallach. This is how we're going to change the world with a grassroots coalition of the informed, one person at a time, one community at a time, one county at a time, one city at a time, one state at a time. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why I feel so very fortunate to be involved with longevity and also to have the ability to talk to total strangers like you, people of the similar mindset who are all kind of coming together. Slowly, we're all coming together as a community in helping to educate and impress upon the general public the need for knowledge and the need for action. Bill from Mississippi, keep up the good work, brother. I appreciate your phone call very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, another weekend is upon us. What are you going to do this weekend? If you're a longevity business builder, are you going to enroll, baby, enroll? That's what I would do. Get ready for Monday's webinar on live chat with Dr. Glidden. I'll look forward to that. I'll look forward to another live broadcast here this Monday. Until then, live long and prosper. Dr. Peter Glidden, over and out.